This is WKYT This Morning.
Kentucky mornings start right here on WKYT. It's so good to see you this morning. I'm Andrea Walker.
I'm Bill Bryant. We are glad you're part of the crowd starting your day on WKYT. Here we are. It's Wednesday. It's Hump Day, October 26th.
Now at 6, after finding possible human remains near the Valley View Ferry, Lexington police plan to search the area further today.
Right on top of that story, also on WKYT, police say a standoff ended peacefully after it shut down a busy Lexington road for hours. A lot of confusion in that neighborhood. We're now learning more about the suspect involved.
Plus, the Cleveland Indians were victorious in Game 1 of the World Series. A look at their shutout victory coming up on WKYT This Morning.
And I think we're winners this morning with the weather once again. It's pretty nice out there.
Yeah, it really isn't all that bad. I think yesterday morning was actually colder than this morning in many locations. We still have some 30s outside, so some patchy frost here and there is possible. No widespread frost expected this morning. Frankfort at 45 degrees, Moorhead coming in at 48. So as you walk out the door, I want to show you this. I mean, we jump about 30 degrees from the morning to afternoon. So it's just one of those days. Andrea was talking about it this morning where you wear long sleeves during the morning and then afternoon you're wishing that you had some short sleeves on. That's just the way it's going to go today. Later on this afternoon feels really, really nice. But we have a weak cold front overnight into tomorrow. That'll bring us some scattered showers out and about. We'll talk about that. And also how warm this Halloween weekend and also into Halloween will be. I'll show you that 7-day coming up.
Okay, we have a lot of news to tell you about this morning.
New on WKYT this morning, Lexington police say human remains might have been found in the Kentucky River.
Those remains were found while crews were removing cars spotted in the river several months ago. Today's investigation will also impact drivers. WKYT's Michelle Chamberlain is at our alert desk now with the details on that. Michelle?
Lexington police say the operation at the Kentucky River will continue today, and police say a crew pulled cars from the river over the weekend. Now they found what could be human remains. Police say testing must still be completed, a process that could take a while. Now the crew is expected to head back out today because of ideal river conditions, and we're told they plan to explore further, but they're not telling us much more. Police say at this time it is not clear if the suspected remains are connected with a vehicle. Now because of this search, the Valley View Ferry will be closed starting this morning, but it will be open from 6 o'clock this morning until 8 o'clock this morning before it closes. Guys, back to you.
Okay, thank you very much. And the suspect involved in a late-night standoff with Lexington police is going to be facing a judge later today. There were lots of questions what was going on in that neighborhood.
And police say Robin Holbert now faces several charges after the standoff, which was real disruption in the area near the intersection of Versailles Road and Delmont Drive. WKYT's Mike Byer is live in Lexington outside the courthouse with details. Good morning, Mike.
Good morning, Andrea. Robin Holbert is behind bars this morning as a result of that standoff last night on Versailles Road. Now, according to her arrest citation, she is expected to be arraigned later today here at Fayette County District Court. It all started around 7:30 last night. This is when police say they spotted a stolen car and made a traffic stop. They say Holbert pulled into an apartment complex off Versailles Road, but she eventually got out of the car and tried to run away. Police say they tasered her twice, but she wouldn't stop. At one point, police say she pulled out a gun on officers. Police were eventually able to corner her in an area near Versailles Road and Delmont Drive. This is when the standoff began. Police say Holbert was standing on the porch of a vacant home during the standoff, a standoff that lasted for nearly 2 hours until a police negotiator was able to get her to drop her weapon just after 9 o'clock. She was then arrested. Now, Holbert faces a long list of charges. They include theft of a motor vehicle registration plate, wanton endangerment, and fleeing or evading police. She'll answer to those charges later today here at Fayette County District Court. Live in Lexington, Mike Byer, WKYT.
Mike, thank you. A Garrett County teacher has been suspended after police say he overdosed on heroin on his way to school. First responders found Stephen Grubbs unconscious after he crashed his car. An officer says Narcan was used to revive him. Police say this is Grubbs' third DUI charge in less than 10 years. The acting superintendent for Garrett County Schools says Grubbs is suspended with pay pending further investigation. A third person has been identified in connection with a home invasion and shooting in Lexington.
Yeah, police have issued an arrest warrant for Joseph FAIN, the man you see on your screen. He is facing a robbery charge. Last week, police say people forced their way into a home on Red Mile Road as part of a drug-related robbery. That's when police say a 19-year-old suspect and a 22-year-old who police say was trying to protect a friend were both shot. Police say charges are pending against the suspect who was shot. They say another suspect, Demetrian Boaz, has turned himself in. An Anderson County man faces charges following an undercover investigation by state police. Investigators say Robert CATALDI was sharing images of child sexual exploitation online. CATALDI is charged with distributing and possessing matter portraying a sex performance by a minor. Police say additional charges are expected.
Now 6:05 here on WKYT, and this morning we're hearing from the father of a Boyd County murder victim. Justin Reeder's body was found in Ohio more than a week after his family reported him missing. Police have charged Jacob Lane with his murder. Police say Lane admitted to shooting Reeder, and Reeder's father says he will be remembered as a loving person.
He was just a great person, big heart, very lovable. He didn't deserve none of this. None of this.
I don't know, he had the biggest heart I knew.
You couldn't ask for a better kid. I was so proud of him.
Police say Lane tried to break into Reeder's Ashland home after the murder. Police say Lane has faced drug charges in Kentucky in the past and was on probation at the time of the shooting.
A southern Kentucky woman faces charges following a major drug bust in Russell County. Dana Sandusky is charged with drug trafficking, but deputies say more charges are expected to be filed. Deputies say they found several ounces of meth along with 3 grams of suspected heroin and other drug paraphernalia inside Sandusky's home. They also say they recovered more than $6,000 in cash. A man is accused of driving from Missouri to Kentucky to have sex with a juvenile. 19-year-old Raleigh Pogue was arrested in Greenup County. Police say they got a tip that Pogue was on his way to pick up a 15-year-old girl who he met online. When he was arrested, police say he admitted to his intentions.
And folks in Harlan County are worried that a historic cemetery could soon fall right into the nearby river. Over the last few months, pieces of the Wicks Howard Cemetery in Loyal have continued to slide into the Cumberland River. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says a design flaw is to blame for the damage at the cemetery. The Corps has agreed to fix it, but they're still waiting for a permit. And they say it will cost $3 million to fix the landslide and another $30,000 to move 6 graves.
Well, family and friends gathered to honor a Powell County Marine killed in a crash last year.
It meant a lot to the family. Tyler Brewer died in January of 2015. His friends told us that they wanted something permanent to remember him by. So they and Brewer's family have been raising money for weeks to pay for the fountain at Stanton City Park. The city of Stanton paid for the installation costs. Brewer's mother says the fountain is a very fitting tribute.
And you know, he played football on this field. So, and I think it will be great, you know, people walking at the field or at the ball games that come over and see this and say, oh yeah, I remember Tyler. And so he spent a lot of time here, so I'm glad it's here. And
yesterday was a special day for Brewer's family. It would have been his birthday, and they wanted to make sure that the fountain was ready by that day. So pulling together, the community accomplished that.
Yeah.
That's good. All right, Cleveland rocks. That's what Indian fans are saying this morning after the team shut out the Chicago Cubs in Game 1 of the World Series.
Roberto Perez hit 2 home runs, leading the Indians to a 6-0 win over the Cubs last night. Pitcher Corey Kluber set a World Series strikeout record with 8 strikeouts through the first 3 innings.
They're going to be moving up this evening's game an hour because they anticipate some rain in the Cleveland area. So,
but no rain in our forecast,
not
people.
At all.
So good news there.
Looks good. Maybe tomorrow there's that little chance. But Mike has been tracking that front. It's been a little bit hard to get a handle on exactly what will go on, but he has the latest in our First Alert Weather Center.
Yeah, confidence is building. We'll start to see that front move in overnight and into tomorrow. That will bring us, like Bill was talking about, that small chance of rain. A couple light showers. That's about it. Let's talk about what's going on right now. Temperature-wise, they're in the 40s for the most part, but a couple of 30s here and there. Now, no widespread frost is expected, obviously, as our temperatures are there in the 40s. However, we still can't rule out some patchy spots, especially toward eastern Kentucky, where we have some of those valley locations. That's where we could definitely see some frost. We're at 41 right now in Williamsburg, 45 in Lexington, 48 in Moorhead, which actually takes the cake, the warm spot outside early this morning. 73 by the afternoon. It's one of those days you got the fall feel in the morning and kind of that late summer feel later on this afternoon, because that's about 10 degrees above average for this time of year. Mixture of sun and clouds here and there. So it's a pretty nice day in store. We'll have a breeze about 10 to 15 miles per hour. We'll head off into the night. Clouds will be on the increase. That typically indicates that, yeah, here comes some rain along the way, and we will see that. Not so much, I would say, overnight for the most part. For the most part, it's turning tomorrow morning. Anywhere from 5 a.m. to about 8 a.m. You'll start to see that arrive in the western zones, and then it slowly creeps eastbound as we go throughout the day. So right around noontime, obviously, this is no widespread rain. It's definitely no washout. You're not going to get a lot of rain out of this. Very, very little chance for even thunderstorms outside. It's more of just some gusty showers rolling on through. But I do want to show you this. Look down south. You see the upper 60s, lower 70s, right? Watch this as we go through the day. That temperature profile, the actual gradient of these temperatures, look at the difference. 72 in Williamsburg, Saxton, down towards, say, Whitley County. Then you go up towards, say, Covington, 54 degrees. So that once that front pushes on through, some much cooler air filters on in for your Thursday afternoon and evening. And you'll get a couple of showers, remember, here and there throughout your day on Thursday. And then some cooler air rushes in on Friday. But then on Friday afternoon, you get that warm spell coming in from the south where they're in the mid-60s. That's average again on your Friday. Now let's talk about your weekend forecast. It looks phenomenal. Check that out. 75 degrees on Saturday. Sunday still remains dry at 73. Any events, festivals, any 5Ks going on? We have some good weather for you guys there for the weekend. And it doesn't stop there. 73 there on Halloween, guys. Some really, really good weather on the way. Maybe a little wind to go with that Halloween evening. So that might make it feel a little spooky, but nonetheless, I mean, it's not feeling that way temperature-wise. So I think 73 degrees for a high.
You can be totally focused on getting that Halloween candy.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Get the candy. That's all you got to worry about.
You don't have to worry about anyway. So you'll be good to go.
Know your priorities.
That's right.
Micah, very good. Thank you. Our time this morning is 6:11.
And each morning we bring you weather and traffic together.
It's a good time right now to know if you're facing anything. Here's Officer Don with a look at what's happening out there on the roads. Good morning, Don.
Good morning. Just checked Todd's Road, and we're okay from, it looks like the Man of War all the way over to the I-75 overpass. No problems there. Also inbound Versailles Road and outbound Versailles Road, for that matter. Looks good coming in from Woodford County. Overall traffic few. No problems for now. And all of our big intersections outside look good, too, with no major delays to report. There's a live look at New Circle and Tate's Creek, and you can see both the inner and outer loops are okay, and inbound Tate's Creek coming in from Armstrong Mill is steady. Now back to you in the studio.
Okay, looking pretty good out there right now, and we'll keep you informed as we go through the morning, and it is great to have you with us on WKYT this morning. Wednesday, everybody. More news is on the way.
Coming up, why Donald Trump is taking a brief break from the campaign trail and where Hillary Clinton is spending part of her birthday. That's coming up in about 3 minutes.
And there will be soon a new, cheaper way to watch cable TV. Got your attention, huh? What AT&T is rolling out when WKYT This Morning returns. Good morning. Welcome back in. WKYT This Morning. We're up and at it with the latest at 6:16 on your Wednesday. All right, it's now less than 2 weeks until the election. A lot of people will say, bring it on, right? Let's get this done. The Republican Donald Trump is taking a little break from campaigning today.
This morning, he will formally open his new hotel in Washington, D.C. Trump will send his running mate, Indiana Governor Mike Pence, to Utah, which hasn't backed a Democrat for president in 52 years. Trump will hold 2 rallies in North Carolina this afternoon. Meanwhile, his challenger is surging in the polls. Hillary Clinton will hold 2 events in the key state of Florida today. Both are meant to encourage people to cast a ballot early. It's also Clinton's 69th birthday. Federal investigators are leading the search for the Oklahoma man accused of killing 2 family members and shooting 2 police officers over the weekend. 38-year-old Michael Vance allegedly shot one officer in the foot and another in the legs Sunday night before making off in a patrol car. Vance is also suspected of shooting a 5th person at a convenience store. Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay in Florida has decided to close a river rapids ride after 4 people were killed on a similar water ride at an amusement park in Australia. Busch Gardens officials say the Congo River Rapids ride was shut down yesterday out of an abundance of caution. Australian officials say 2 rafts collided on the Thunder River Rapids ride, sending 2 of the victims flying into a conveyor belt.
The time right now, 6:18 here on WKYT. AT&T is launching a streaming TV service next month. The online video service is called DirecTV Now, and it includes 100 channels of programming. It will cost $35 a month, undercutting most cable companies. Soon, flyers will be able to track the journey of their luggage. That can be important. Delta announced that it will use its Flight Delta mobile app to offer its customers a map viewing of their bag's last scanned location. The display will track luggage from the belly of the airplane to the next plane or airport. The map feature is currently offered at all U.S. Delta airports, and the airline says its international stations will join in the coming months as well, because that can be a problem if your luggage doesn't get there. All right, Volkswagen will now have to pay out the largest auto scandal settlement in U.S. history. Some of you may be getting checks out of that. A federal judge has approved a $15 billion settlement for claims following the emissions cheating controversy. VW owners can get cash payments between $5,100 and $10,000 each for returning their vehicles. 475,000 owners can start getting those buybacks next week. Apple sold more iPhones than investors on Wall Street had expected during the last quarter. That still was less than a year ago. Revenue, however, fell 9%. The company released its quarterly earnings report late yesterday and is predicting better than expected revenue for the holiday season. Apparently some big announcements coming tomorrow. And Anheuser-Busch says it has completed the world's first driverless beer run. The beverage maker sent a tractor trailer full of 45,000 cans on a 120-mile journey through Colorado. The company says a professional truck driver was on board for the entire route just in case. But Anheuser-Busch says it hopes to use self-driving technology more often in the future. Well, now what about that?
What about that? All right.
Reminds you of the old Eastbound and Down song.
Doesn't that scare you? I don't know if I'll ever get used to looking over at a big truck and seeing no driver there. All righty then.
The future.
There you go. WKYT this morning, we are just getting started. Still ahead, a Swiss driver is caught on camera chasing his own car down the highway. See what led to the nearly catastrophic runaway when we return.
We have some cooler temperatures outside this morning, but that warm front just to the north of us will actually stream in some pretty mild air today. Actually feels really nice later on. Then we get some rain overnight and into tomorrow. We'll break that down coming up next.
Yeah.
Welcome back into WKYT this morning. The time now is 6:23 on your Wednesday. The Valley View Ferry will be closed today so Lexington police can continue investigating after finding possible remains in the Kentucky River.
We're watching that story carefully. That's what's trending at this hour at WKYT News. The possible remains were found while crews removed sunken cars near the Valley View Ferry over the weekend. Police say the materials have now been sent to a lab for testing.
The suspect involved in a standoff with Lexington police will face a judge today. Robin Holbert faces several charges, including fleeing and evading police and wanton endangerment. Police say the standoff began after Holbert pulled out a gun during a traffic stop on Versailles Road. It lasted several hours, but did thankfully end peacefully.
It's a brisk morning out there, but it looks like a good day ahead. Here's Micah.
Yeah, and this morning is one of those starts that it's like you need a long sleeve shirt and you need a sweater before you take off. And then you head toward the afternoon and you get rid of all that. You might need even some shorts on later on this afternoon. Low to mid 70s expected. So this front's just to the north of us. We'll get that warmer air streaming on in here as we go throughout the afternoon. Temperatures are there in the 40s for the most part. No widespread frost expected. However, some patchy spots here and there are expected, especially some of these valley areas. It's 38 now in Monticello. It's in the mid 40s across 64 corridor. And your emoji cast, yeah, it's a little chilly this morning. That's why I put on the straight face. But we get in toward the afternoon, throw some shades and a smiley face there. As we're at 73, guys, with a mixture of sun and clouds. Looks really good today. Tomorrow we'll get a rain chance. I'll talk about that and the timing coming up.
Okay, we'll see in a little bit with that. Thank you, Micah. 6:25 right now. All right, here's where we like to show you some of the weird things going on out there, right? Crazy video from Switzerland. It shows a man in a foot chase with his own car after it gets a mind of its own.
Not the kind of chase you want to be in. Take a look. According to police, the man had parked along the side of the highway to talk to a truck driver when his car just decided, hey, I'm out. I'm out of here.
Turns Christine.
Exactly. The man eventually caught up to his runaway ride, but not before it banged up a guardrail and a traffic sign. Police are now looking for the man who's been identified to to answer for the damage. Eek.
Don't want to do that.
No, chasing your car is never a good thing. Well, you've heard the saying, everything is bigger in Texas. Well, this next story is just living proof of that.
Take a look. Check out this massive Texas-shaped lazy river. It's being installed. Look at that. It's being installed at the Marriott Marquis in Houston. Crews are hurrying to put the final touches on the pool and the hotel. The goal is to have it open for this year's Super Bowl, which is going to be held in Houston. So
I'll admit
a few months away.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Lazy river is just my speed, you know.
Is that right?
I enjoy a good lazy river.
It works, huh? All right, all the time. Hey, it's good to have you on WKYT this morning, rolling towards 6:30 on your Wednesday.
When WKYT This Morning returns, learn about the ripple effect that smart devices have on children and what you as parents can do about it.
Important research being done right here in Kentucky. And tonight's Powerball jackpot is $164 million. Friday's Mega Millions jackpot is $35 million. Our top stories coming up on WKYT This Morning.